The last 48 hours have been insane.
I'm about to be put in the house with 7 other people that I've never met before.
Of course, I gotta bring my whole closet.
One of my goals is to step outside my comfort zone.
To explore who I am.
And just like that, we're off.
Oh, I was going the wrong way this whole time.
Gas station stop. One of the few places I actually will poop.
That's a mistake, because you should have many places.
Like dogs do.
Yeah, right? Be a dog.
Welcome to Cordkillers, the show about watching the stuff you love when you want, where you want, however you want. I'm Tom Merritt.
Hey, I'm Brian Brushwood. Most importantly, I ain't been used to being in a cool town before. I don't know if I like it. Explain to me what I just saw, Bryce.
So that was a teaser for Netflix's upcoming reality show, Roaring Twenties, which will come out weekly on Netflix as the show began filming this fall. The 8 people are sharing a house in Austin, Texas, and it seems to be about spreading your wings and having a fulfilling youth in a very exciting city. They talk about, growing up in a quote-unquote new normal, whatever you take that to mean. We don't know if this is going to be more real world or terrace housey, but it looks like it could be either. Tom, what do you think?
I think I was in my 20s sharing a house in Austin, Texas in 1996, and we didn't have no Netflix people around filming then. Why do these kids need it now?
There's a big part of me that wants to make fun of all of these kids, make fun of the project, make fun of the conceit and everything. But the truth is, man, it's been a hell of a last 2 years. And it's
right?
like,
it's kind of genius.
This is some real documentation of people entering a new world in kind of this weird post-war post-COVID environment. And
I'm kind of wondering what from my 90s sharing a house in Austin will actually still be like, oh yeah, no, that's still true. What will overlap? I bet a lot will.
Well, and there's a part of me that wonders what I'm going to see in the show about my own town that I've lived in for the last 30 years that I don't see just looking out my front door.
Yeah. They're in your house, Brian.
Well, I mean,
you
not
never
yet.
realized it. Yeah,
we have
whole
to
show.
invite them over and then have them here at the HQ. That's the whole thing.
No, look at the next room. They've been there shooting for months.
Oh my God, what a twist.
That's coming to Netflix December 10th. Those are weekly, so those are also a weekly show. Check it out.
Let's bring in our special guest.
Yes, Pally Eklund. Ek, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you, man.
Guys, I was so happy when Jackie sent me the email. It's watching you guys all the time, and last week was a great show, by the way. I loved all the talk about old vintage shows you guys were watching.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's great stuff. Thank you so much for having me.
Definitely got fired
hockey
up.
season back underway, and Hockey Buzz himself taking a little break from the action, so we appreciate that as well.
Oh no, thanks. Yeah, no, it's wonderful to have fans back. Last year I was in the press box by myself and there was nobody around. It was the weirdest thing. They gave us 10 rows up from the ice. Every reporter had his own cart table, and we had a whole section, an entire section was ours. And
wow.
you could hear the players just talking to each other, yelling at each other. They had this fake crowd noise coming in. And then they put it out to 3,000 fans at a time. So we had just 3,000 fans. And the funny thing about that is, I don't know if you've ever had a season ticket to an event or anything like that, a sporting event, but you always end up with a jerk behind you, who's all year long, this one guy behind you is oh God, I'm so sick of his opinions. The only thing that keeps those people from being total jerks is the fact that there are people near them. So when you had 3,000 socially distanced people, stadiums, those guys were just there's nobody near me, I can be a total jerk all the time. And that was something. That was like the last days of Rome when you only had 3,000 people in there, the screaming that was going on. But now we're back.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, it's good to have you, man. It's Disney Plus Day week. Disney Plus Day was on Friday. Folks, you know what that means. It is most of the show, but also our primary target. Now, Disney Plus Day came shortly after the actual Disney earnings report, where we get updates on numbers and stuff like that. Disney Plus added 2.1 million streaming subscribers last quarter, bringing the total Disney Plus subscription to 119.1 million, up 60% on the year. However, that 2.1 million was quite a bit under what analysts had expected. Analysts had expected Disney Plus to add 9.4 million, so that was unsettling for the investors anyway. CEO Bob Chapek said the company is sticking with flexibility when it comes to theatrical releases. Chapek said, "We're still unsure in terms of how the marketplace is going to react when family films come back with a theatrical first window," adding, "You'll notice that the films we are putting into the marketplace that are theatrical and are family films have a fairly short window. We're doing that so we can get our films quicker to Disney Plus, but at the same time see if the theatrical market can kick back into full gear as we prime the pump with these films." Disney Plus also went live in Korea and Taiwan last week, so they should probably have bigger numbers next quarter because they're adding 2 new markets. But before we get into all of the actual Disney Plus Day announcements, Brian, interesting to see the sort of, well, family films. Maybe they'll respect the window, but we're testing it first.
So this is my question for all of the panel, including Ek and Bryce. Is this in particular a family film affair or a Disney Maverick experiment, or is this just straight up the new normal?
Oh man, that's a tough one, right? Disney family films, that's always a scary kind of combination of things to me. Like I don't know, Disney everything. I mean, when I was, if you notice the things that they kept out of the Muppet Show, which we watch around here all the time, they took stuff out of the Muppet Show to make it more family friendly, and some of it definitely deserved to be taken out of it, but some of it was on the edge. Disney family is kind of scary. I don't know. To me, it seems like it's a weird place to go.
There's definitely plenty of money there in the movie theater business, right? As taking a family out to go to the movies is a pretty cheap way to entertain people. But at the same time, if you can get a similar, I think it'll depend on the kids, right? Do the kids want to get out of the house, or do they want to go see the new Pixar movie? Because if they just want to see the new Pixar movie, then I think that they'll find that it will probably make more sense to throw that straight to Disney Plus and get some of that heat and just entertain the kids this week with this instead of whatever other kids programming.
But on top of that, you have the multiple agendas. For example, Disney Plus wants to paint a narrative where they're the young upstart that comes in and kicks in the door and tells Netflix to go get bent, old man. In which case, you want to go as fast to Disney Plus as you possibly can. And family films, I feel like, I have no justification for this, but I feel like family films are more well positioned to make that transition.
Sure.
I think Disney knows that when everybody's comfortable going to the theater, there are certain movies that will financially be worth it to give a theatrical exclusive to, that families will want to see them right away. They won't want to wait even 30 days to see, but they're not sure if families in particular. It's one thing to go after, men aged 34 to 55, but families, are they ready to put on masks, to deal with the uncertainty, maybe have to show a vaccination depending on where you live? Are families ready for that? And I that's what I took out of this, is Chapek was saying, we're going to see if families come to the theater yet. We know they will eventually, but we're going to be flexible until we figure that out.
I mean, also, like, think about how, my kids, at least growing up, it was like Nemo every hour on the hour here, so like, now it's Frozen. There's certain things that, my gosh, like if you're going to put it on streaming, you're going to get multiple views for these shows.
Right.
Yeah.
But
and
also,
honestly, that happens whether it's in the theater or not.
Right. And on the flip side, we've had an earthquake for the last 2 years, and now the rules are not established. So now we have an opportunity for somebody to come in and do something crazy and claim the crown of, like, we were the #1 box office movie of all of 2021 or all of 2022 or whatever. And it sounds to me like they're flat out announcing, we're not going to try to play that game. We want to establish our foothold in streaming territory.
With the family films particularly.
Right.
Right. Yeah, they're like, we can be the number one movie all year with a Marvel film. That's fine.
Right.
But
Right.
family films, we're still not sure if the families are showing up or not. So we're playing that one close to the vest.
Yeah.
All right. Like Netflix before it, Disney made way too many announcements last week, thanks to the fan event called Disney Plus Day. We will move through them quickly. That's your own fault, Disney, and ask each of our panelists to give them a Disney Plus or Disney minus rating. We shall start with Marvel. Hawkeye, post-blip New York. Hawkeye teaming up with Kate Bishop, played by Haley Steinfeld, coming November 24th. Brian?
Disney Plus all the way. I want Hawkeye to have one win. Give this poor guy who has no superpowers just one good property. It's Christmas, for crying out loud.
Amen. Preach, Brian. I'm so with you. Just the bow and arrow over being a god any day of the week. Come on. He's not a god. He's got a bow and arrow, for crying out loud.
And to be clear, we're talking about Jeremy Renner, not Alan Alda. Moon Knight, a vigilante with dissociative identity disorder whose many identities are involved in a deadly war of the gods, coming 2022.
I don't really care about Moon Knight, but if you could pull off making me care, that would be a plus.
I don't know Moonlight, but my son said it was awesome. And my son, before I said, these are the shows I got to talk about later. And I was just talking to him a couple hours ago, and he's like, yeah, Moon Knight's great. He's fired up.
I learned about Moon Knight when Justin Robert Young referenced it during a bit we were doing on FSL Tonight 12 years ago. So
Nice.
That's all I know about Moon Knight. She-Hulk, Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters / She-Hulk. A lawyer specializing in superhuman case law, guest starring Mark Ruffalo and Tim Roth as the Abomination, coming in 2022.
Tom, if it sounds like I'm being overly hostile, it's only because I'm trying to hide the fact that I was sexually attracted to She-Hulk during my adolescence. I freaking love She-Hulk a lot, and Tatiana, what's her name, was amazing in Orphan Black.
Yeah, so that makes perfect sense and no shame involved in that. That's a double plus. Ek, what about you?
None whatsoever. I was that way with the girl from Speed Racer. Anyway, yeah. So the She-Hulk is just shows that a woman can be irradiated and not become an idiot, like the regular Hulk becomes an idiot when he's So I think this is good.
Keep in mind also, She-Hulk was like a female version of Deadpool before Deadpool. She was self-aware that she was in a comic book. She would do stuff like, "Oh, we got to go to the guy. Oh, I know a shortcut," and she would tear open the page, walk across a fake ad, and then show up and fight the bad guy.
Ms. Marvel, 16-year-old Kamala Khan is the character in this one. A huge fan of the Avengers, big gamer, fan fiction writer, and then gains superpowers coming fall 2022.
It's a minus. I have so much latent frustration with the joyless representation of all things Captain Marvel.
Even Miss Marvel?
I don't know. I ain't watched this silly son of a gun.
I'm gonna chime in here and
please.
Put a big plus on this because boy howdy, we're doing Young Avengers, and this is the next thing you need to do. You need to do Miss Marvel.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah. Did I mention I want to date the She-Hulk?
Yes, you may have.
Okay.
Yeah. Ek.
I would have rather seen Squirrel Girl, to be honest. That would have been awesome, but no, not this one.
All right. I mean, with this list, there's no reason they had to choose.
I know.
Here are shows with no dates. Echo, a spinoff from Hawkeye, which will introduce Maya Lopez, played by Alaqua Cox, in Hawkeye, and then already getting a show called Echo. Plus or minus?
Minus, because that sounds like homework.
Yeah, I don't know that one very well. No, I would say I'm neutral on that one. I can't respond.
Ironheart. Siri Williams is a genius inventor who creates an advanced suit of armor.
That minus. I don't know why.
Is this like Miss Marvel? Is this like, the Iron Man Miss Marvel type thing, kind of?
I mean, if it is, it's cool, but that sounds like a very difficult needle to thread.
Yes.
Agatha, House of Harkness, starring Catherine Hahn.
All my pluses go to Agatha.
Catherine Hahn's pretty awesome.
Secret Invasion, starring Samuel Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn.
One of my favorite themes in all of Marvel. Plus, plus, plus.
From Captain.
Yes, Son
Marvel.
told me it's amazing too. I don't know this one either, but yeah, he was the same exact way. He was so fired about this one too.
Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special from James Gunn.
I stopped listening. I do plus, plus, plus.
Is Chewbacca in it? Because that's what I want to see, the crossover.
Oh,
Come
man.
on. This
Triple
feels,
plus.
This feels like the Star Wars holiday special to me, doesn't it? It's like, okay, here we go. Guardians of the Galaxy.
An animated revival of X-Men 97.
This is a bold move, and I love that they're trying it. I'm not going to claim whether or not it'll be good or bad. I guess I'll say plus for the effort, but what a wild move.
Yeah, I remember X-Men Pinball Machine. That's about all I remember from the X-Men comics. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
What If getting a season 2?
Yes, plus all the way.
Yeah, first season was really good. Really fun.
Spider-Man Freshman Year, an animated origin story for Peter Parker with animation in the Silver Age Spider-Man style.
What does that look like?
That's the original run of Spider-Man, basically.
No. But I mean, in animation form,
Yeah.
what do you think that looks like in terms of pacing and comedy and all? Plus.
Great.
Just put me down as plus.
I just, I was looking the other day trying to stream the original Spider-Man that was on TV when I was a kid. I couldn't find it anywhere. So, but not enough Spider-Man for me, for sure.
I Am Groot, a series of shorts around Baby Groot.
Big old fat minus.
Yeah,
Minus. If you
Hates
have
the
a
baby.
baby, the last thing you want to do is watch somebody else's baby. Ain't nobody liked
try it.
babies. Nobody liked Baby Muppets. Nobody liked Baby Driver. Nobody likes babies.
That's true.
Heck?
We love Muppets. It just feels like a meme they're just trying to make memes. It just feels like a meme thing to me. That's all.
All right. I am pro baby, just to be on the record. Marvel
Interesting.
Zombies, an animated reimagining of heroes battling a zombie scourge, similar but not necessarily a direct spin-off of the What If episode, so don't expect continuity between them.
Minus. I'm already over zombies, full stop. I'm double over zombies when I saw that What If episode. That was definitely the worst of all the What If episodes. Zombies down, living people up. That's right. I'm racist.
Zombies or babies?
Zombie babies, we might have something, but outside of that, no.
Zombies versus babies, maybe, but no, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think that reimagining to me. Why does Marvel get to reimagine everything all the time? Like, I put out art stuff back, in college. I can't reimagine that stuff. So I'm curious.
All right, let's get to the Star Wars stuff. Just a couple of those. Under the Helmet, The Legacy of Boba Fett, a special documentary about the origin of Boba Fett, leading into, of course, the Book of Boba Fett series.
The world's worst bounty hunter who got hit in the back by a blind man and died, except he didn't die, inside of a Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, you don't want to hear about the origin of that. Okay, Ek?
I feel like I'm so happy you said that, Brian. I feel like he's the most overrated Star Wars character of all time. Like, I really just feel like there's nothing to him and they tried to make something out of him.
The child who saved the proof of purchases to get Boba Fett set and was upset that he didn't get the one that was recalled because of the actual choking hazard from the missile in the back, is going to be very excited to watch this. Let's move on to Obi-Wan. Exclusive look of Obi-Wan was given, showing a concept art of Ewan McGregor's Kenobi battling Darth Vader, played by Hayden Christensen, coming in 2022.
Plus, despite the fact that Darth Vader is in it. like I am so into Obi-Wan Ewan McGregor that's enough for me.
Yeah, same here. I've been waiting for that
All
for
right.
a while.
Now we have 25 more to go.
Good.
The Beatles Get Back, coming November 25th.
Plus.
I can't get enough of this. I can't wait. I'm so fired up about this. This is like the one thing I want to watch all year. I'm so excited.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, animated movie coming December 3rd, and a sequel called Roderick Rules coming next year.
Minus.
Yeah, me too. I thought the books were bizarre.
I mean, unless
honestly.
Obi-Wan beats up the Wimpy Kid.
I worked at Borders Bookstore when this was big, and
Welcome to Earth, a 6-part National Geographic series with Will Smith coming December 8th.
Man, this one's a coin flip. I believe that Will Smith has the chops to sell me on truly experiencing the majesty of this wonderful planet that we live on. So I'm going to say tentative plus.
Yeah, I love nature documentaries. So that's this is right in my wheelhouse for sure. We just watched everything by David Attenborough we could possibly watch over the last month. So yeah, I'd like to see it.
Most specifically, I feel like Will Smith can pull off awe and wonder in a way that will take me for the ride.
The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, starring Simon Pegg as Buck Wild in the animated adventures spinoff from the Ice Age coming January 28th.
Minus. Sorry, I couldn't wait until you stopped talking. I started saying minus before you stopped.
Yeah, there's just so many crazy inaccuracies about this universe. I just don't know where to start. You know, with different. There was a Santa Claus in one of them. It's just no.
Sneakerella, a gender-flipped telling of Cinderella with sneaker culture, coming February 18th.
Minus. I'm confused.
This is a bridge too far. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's going to be great. I don't know what y'all are afraid of, old man.
You like sneaker culture? I'm not. I mean, go ahead.
The Proud Family, louder and prouder spinoff of Disney Channel series coming in February.
I don't know what that is. Minus.
Big plus. I'm glad the Proud Family's back. Proud Family rules.
We got a Proud Family fan in the house.
Yeah,
nice.
Proud Family rules.
Were they Victoria in the Victoria universe, or were they? Where were they? I'm trying to remember where the Cloud Family was. Like,
no, they were
Charlie.
They were an animated. They were always an animated family. Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. Yeah. I don't remember. I just watched all the other ones with my kids. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Warwick Davis introduced a sequel series to Willow coming in 2022.
Provisional plus. I just want good things for him.
Yes. Okay, I'll go with you, Brian. Mm-hmm.
Zootopia Plus, short form series set in the city from the movie Zootopia.
Massive plus. My one regret about that movie was, and it was something they did very, very well, which was keep so much stuff in the background that all I wanted to do is explore the rest of this crazy New York City. And if they're going to start, giving us tales of Bossing Say or whatever, that would be amazing.
Yeah, this is amazing. I'm surprised. I'm right with you. This is amazing. Zootopia was amazing. I'm really looking forward to it.
Only 30 more to go. Cars on the road. Motter and Lightning McQueen go on a road trip coming 2022.
Minus.
Yes. Yes. Bring back Thomas the Tank Engine if we're going to go this far. We have we've done the talking car thing. We're done.
Chip and Dale animated hybrid with John Mulaney and Andy Samberg voicing Chip and/or Dale. Spring 2022.
Provisional plus. Just because, wait, you're refusing to call it a reboot? You're just acting like everything's continuing again? All right, I'll subscribe to your newsletter.
Yeah, I like John Mulaney. I'll watch it for sure. See what happens.
Better Nate Than Ever, based on the book, coming spring 2022.
I don't know what that is. So minus.
Is this a high School Musical thing? Is this like a High School Musical
animated series
anyway.
Coming summer 2022?
Plus. Big Hero 6 is amazing.
Yes. I was Baymax for Halloween. I have the costume right over there.
Nice.
Anyway, yep, for sure. There you go.
Pinocchio, a retelling of the animated as a sort of live action from Robert Zemeckis, coming fall 2022.
Sorry, I fell asleep halfway through that, so minus.
Yeah, that's lying, nose growing. That definitely has seen its time, I think.
Disenchanted, a sequel to the film Disenchanted. This one will also star Amy Adams and Patrick Dempsey, coming fall 2022.
It's strange. It's confusing. I don't like those. Negative.
This feels like where the list is headed, Tom.
Cheaper by the Dozen, a reimagining starring Gabrielle Union and Zach Braff, coming in March 2022.
Every single time anybody does this movie, nobody's read the original book. The original book was adorable, and ain't nobody even try to get close to the book. I'm going to preemptively assume they're going to screw it up just like everybody else does. Negative.
Oh, yeah. Zach Braff, my favorite movie of all time is Garden State. He's really fallen afar. I'm sorry. I'm not happy with this.
Hocus Pocus 2, with the original cast of Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy in a sequel Fall 2022.
Oh my God, Tom, a movie I didn't like the first time, only with older, slower versions of the same people?
Wow.
Negative.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you were going plus.
No.
Surely there will be a Sex and the City crossover at some point, but that's the only thing you might want to watch for. Yeah. There you go.
And just like that, Win or Lose from Pixar, animated series about a school softball team, coming 2023.
I heard you say the word Pixar plus.
All right, I'm just going to say these, and you guys shout plus or minus as I go. Tiana, musical series coming in 2023, where the Princess of Maldonia came from New Orleans.
Plus.
Spiderwick Chronicles, new series adaptation of the books.
Negative.
Man,
Limitless with Chris Hemsworth, Nat Geo series coming 2022.
Big plus.
Plus.
America the Beautiful, a 6-part Nat Geo series coming in 2022.
Plus.
High School, the musical, the series season 3 someday has
Minus.
been approved.
God help us.
And
no.
Disney Intertwined Entrelazados coming someday, it was announced.
Tom, we speak English on this show. I don't know what that is.
Nope.
All right. And then finally, one that was not in any of the recaps out there, but it was covered by Variety and several outlets, a Predator prequel called Prey, not on Disney Plus, but it was announced on the same day, streaming on Hulu this summer.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know. I'm real finicky about my Predator prequels or sequels. Who's this one directed by?
Daniel Trachtenberg.
Wait, Dan Trachtenberg?
Daniel
Our
Trachtenberg.
friend from the Totally Rad Show?
Former Cordkillers guest and host of the Totally Rad Show.
I would like to take back all of my previous pluses and give them all to Prey.
That's a recall on pluses. Zach, what do you think?
No, I love Dan Trachtenberg. That's gonna be awesome. He's from Philadelphia Kid too. It's good. Awesome.
Excellent. Folks, we know that you may not have spent all of your pluses, and we'd like to have them. Just turn them into dollar bills and send them to patreon.com/cordkillers.
Yeah, dude, it's a little thing called money, and it was invented by Sir Alfred Maynard Keynes.
That's right.
In conjunction with Einstein, and they said someday there's going to be a TV show that wants to be loud, live, and independent to bring you the cord-cutting news that's going to allow you to watch what you want, when you want, on whatever device you please. And we need to make that happen. So they sent a time pod into the mind of Jack Conte, and Jack Conte invented Patreon. Patreon.com/cordkillers. You get your own RSS feed. You get bonus content. You get ad-free. We don't have ads, except for Doghouse Systems. Look, the point is, you keep us alive. You are our lifeline.
We will die if you don't support us at patreon.com/cordkillers.
I mean, we didn't want to put that out there on Front Street. We've waited. We've kept it secret for a long time, but we've got a fever for the flavor of your money. And
the
if
secret
we don't,
to immortality is
money.
Yep. Patreon.com/cordkillers.
Thanks.
And now,
Plus to that.
ahora, como mirar. Hey, remember MoviePass?
Remember movies?
MoviePass. MoviePass, that was the company that created a way to see unlimited movies for a low monthly fee, but didn't exactly have the movie theater owner's blessing or a business plan. So the major theater chains all started competing programs, and then MoviePass went bankrupt in January 2020, before the pandemic could even kill them. And it seemed like that was the end of the MoviePass tale. But Stacy Spikes, not Spike Spiegel, Stacy Spikes was one of the people who co-founded MoviePass way back in 2011. We talked about it on Frame Rate back then. At launch, it wasn't a crazy idea without a business plan. It tried to play nice with theaters. It was a more expensive plan, around $40, with a limited number of movies. But then in 2017, Spikes and co-founder Hammett Watts sold the company to analytics company Helios and Matheson, who then fired Spikes, lowered the price, made the movies unlimited. The rest is history. Since then, MoviePass's assets have been working their way through bankruptcy court and were put up recently for auction. So Spikes, being a little nostalgic, thought, you know what? Let me check and see what's going on. I hear you have trouble finding a buyer. That was true. He put in a bid, and Business Insider reports that bid was less than $250,000, although we don't know that for sure. On November 5th, the court told Spikes, yeah, nobody objected to your bid, and you were the only one who put in a bid. And a few days later, MoviePass assets were Stacy Spikes once again. Spike's company, which is called Pre-Show, now owns the remains of MoviePass. Spike notes that MoviePass data shows people went to more movies and spent more on concessions at those movies when they were using MoviePass, and he thinks the idea could still work, just not for $10 a month for unlimited movies without theatrical cooperation. So, post-pandemic, theaters, a little more receptive than ever to things that will get people back into theaters, are talking to Spikes. Spikes is talking to theater owners, movie makers, and moviegoers, and plans to take all he learns from all of them and launch MoviePass next year. He told Protocol that MoviePass's job will, quote, ultimately be about smoothing out your decision to go to the movies, but we need to do it right so it is sustainable and everybody wins.
This is utterly remarkable. Like just the email list alone seems like it would be worth more than $250,000. I mean, think about it this way. The four of us could sell all of our cars and then borrow money from our parents and kick it in and have this. Like, how did this happen?
That's awesome. I mean, I was jokingly went back and I was on frame rate when you talked about this. I remember talking about this with you before, Tom. I'm like, holy cow. Yeah, it's crazy how long it's been going on. But yeah, I mean, talk about getting in at the right time. You know, like you said, the movie theaters, they want to end anything right now. If you throw an idea at them, they're going to listen.
I mean, I guess the reason there aren't a lot of bidders, Brian, is that MoviePass's name is mud. AMC created their own subscription program. So did Regal. So did Cinemark. And it's probably it seems like a non-starter to anybody that isn't Stacy Spikes. But you're right. You would think someone would at least have put in another bid just for the data alone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a minute. I need to write a resume. And what's her email? Spikes@spikey.spike.
I mean, Stacy at Spikes at moviepassshow.com or something. Yeah.
I mean, the obvious thought of this was a failed business that lost money also plays into it, right? I mean,
correct, but
that depresses the value, certainly, right?
Correct,
but
sure.
but for the data alone, like
maybe all the privacy stuff makes people hesitant to pick up the data. They're like, GDPR, I don't know. That's a lot of trouble just for that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we all agree it's a steal at $250,000. Whatever happens next.
And obviously he's not going to go to AMC. He's not going to try to recreate MoviePass, any theater, anywhere. We'll issue you a credit card. He's not going to do that. What it sounds like from the various interviews that I read, and he gave a bunch of interviews, he wants to go to smaller theater chains, landmark theaters, indie chains, art houses, and make it easy for them to be part of a plan that would bring people into their theaters. So places that always had a foot traffic problem before and are even more worried about it post-pandemic, make it easy for people to go, oh, well, this doesn't work for the blockbusters at the AMC, but I can see all the cool stuff, at the art house or at the landmark or at some place like that.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, even if you had no intentions of rebooting any aspect of this enterprise whatsoever, if you were a consulting firm, $250,000 for the data of the beginning, the alpha, the omega, the whole story of MoviePass in a pre-pandemic world, that's pretty valuable data. And I'm shocked.
Maybe that's it. Maybe everybody's like, that data's no good anymore. It's pre-pandemic and all the patterns have changed.
No, that's why it's valuable, is because current data is corrupted.
And
but also she's the founder too. There's the founder. That's got to be. She's got an emotional tie to it. That's there's no question about that too. Like there's even if it's failed, it's still something that it's a baby theirs.
Yeah.
If this you mentioned Stacey's other business Pre-Show, which we have talked about before, I believe. This is where they make you watch ads and then you watch enough ads and you get to watch a movie. I think
Right.
if you mix that in with MoviePass and say, okay, well, you have to sit on your phone and watch 30, 40 minutes of TV show ads, whatever, I can see that being a new wrinkle in the MoviePass business that was not part of the original or the previous rollout. Was
maybe.
having to
I don't
sit
even
through
think it
ads.
has to be, but it could be, right? Since it's there, why not?
Yeah.
Chad is pointing out that Stacy is a he.
Right.
Oh my gosh, I just thought about that as I was saying that. It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But not a bounty hunter.
That's correct.
No.
I don't know. I'm fascinated by this. I love that Stacey Spikes got it back for a song, you know, a rather successful, like top 40, you know, peaked at number 30 song, but still for a song. And I thought MoviePass was genius when Stacey Spikes launched it. I thought it was a bold gamble when Helios and Matheson played the let's just go for adoption. And I'm like, might work, it might not. Obviously didn't, but I think there was a non-zero chance it could have worked. But I think I'm more attracted to the idea that Spikes is able to say like, all right, great. I took some of the proceeds from selling it to Helios and Matheson and have now reinvested it into buying the original idea back.
Yeah.
And let me go with that.
Yep.
I'm very curious to see what happens. And I think something cool could arise from this.
Agreed.
All right, let's talk
Plus-
about what to watch in Under Surveillance.
Not like real estate. It's all about location.
Under surveillance.
Before we begin Under Surveillance, Brian made a motion to add another element to the previous conversation.
Oh, I said plus. I agree with you.
Okay, good. Squid Game creator Hwang Dong-hyuk confirmed to the AP, the Associated Press, something that none of us are surprised at. They're going to make another season of Squid Game.
What?
Hwang said, there's been so much pressure, so much demand, so much love for a second season, so I almost feel like you leave us no choice. But I will say there will indeed be a second season. It's in my head right now. I'm in the planning process currently. Lee Jung-jae will return as the main character, Song Gi-yoon.
Dude,
So we'll
I
get the
can
main guy back.
already see the Saturday Night Live sketch where they go to the writer's room and then they come in and they're playing Battleship and he's like, no, more elementary. And then they're playing Monopoly, kicks over the board like, we need more games.
Yes. There are, without getting spoilery, there are a couple of threads left at the end of Squid Game that could certainly be picked up. So I'm very curious. Tune into Spoilerin time as we watch Squid Game when we get to the end to find out where we think. When we do the finale of Squid Game on Spoilerin time, we'll talk about where we think a season 2 might go. Do you watch Squid Game, Ek?
I haven't yet. No, and it's funny because I because the hockey season just started off and I can't even commit to anything. So yeah, I haven't been able to.
Yeah, I gotcha. The trend of English remakes of Korean videos, films, and TV shows is definitely underway. Remakes of Crash Landing on You and W are in the works, and Netflix just announced it will make an English language version of the Korean movie Time to Hunt, which was apparently a big hit for Netflix. This will be the first time Netflix has adapted a non-English property of its own into an English one. Time to Hunt is about a group of young people committing crimes to survive in a future Korea hit by a financial crisis.
What do you think the secret sauce about Korean dramas is, Tom? Because you are way ahead of this trend.
I mean, that is the $1 million question. I think it's Hollywood level production and acting has been developed with enough of a vocabulary of what makes popular movies and TV shows, but coming from an entirely different perspective. You know, able to surprise and delight you with something where you're like, I never would have saw that coming. That's a story I never would have thought of because they're outside of the bubble.
That's pretty close to what my guess was going to be. There's something about the fact that if you tell me this is based on a Korean drama or whatever, like all of a sudden I think, well, anything's on the table. Like any crazy thing you could imagine could happen.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. The Super Bowl happens on February 13th next year. That lands it right in the middle of the Winter Olympics, which happens February 4th through the 20th. And this year, both are on NBC. And I should disclose that my wife works for a company owned by NBC, and therefore part of her bonus will be based on this, and I'm very pleased about that. Instead of the premiere of a hot new series after the Super Bowl, which is usually what you get, like stay tuned after the Super Bowl for the premiere of the new show, NBC is going to go from the Olympics to Super Bowl coverage, which lasts all day, and then back to the Olympics, because a new day of Olympics will be beginning at 11:30 a.m. Beijing time at the time the Super Bowl usually ends.
Okay.
So it's kind of a perfect slot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say this idea is a total snooze fest and it's going to be a terrible idea that nobody's going to pay attention to. Let me just try to plus it. You ready? Okay. Get relaxed. Roll your shoulders. Super Bowl added as an Olympic sport. Come on. Are you with me? Let's do it. Gold medals.
In the Winter Olympics?
Come on, International Olympic Committee.
In the Winter Olympics.
Come on. You like money or not?
These Olympics are a really big deal for NBC. I have lots of friends there too, and I work with Comcast NBC here in Philly a lot. And these ratings are a big deal. This is obviously the last Olympics didn't do the greatest in the summer. Winter Olympics usually don't do as good as the Summer Olympics. Because they don't have as much beach volleyball. That's what I was told. And, the reality is, that the Winter Olympics have, for me, obviously hockey, and we have professional hockey players going to the Winter Olympics again. And that's a big thing for the NHL. And this is the biggest stage NHL gets to. That's why they send their best athletes over there. So one thing I question about this with Tom is the Olympics really, I think, became a a viewing when you want to view it type thing a couple years ago. And this is good. Like going, like you can say, yeah, they're starting the Olympics. I mean, I've covered Olympics. I was in Vancouver for the Olympics, and it's an incredible thing to cover from the press perspective. But that was still a North American time zone. Like a time zone over there, it's a hard thing to sell, and it's a hard thing to just get people to stay up till midnight to watch it when they'll just really go to the app and say, I want to watch all the freestyle skiing or what have you, or all this or all whatever event they want to watch.
Yeah, that did not make NBC disappointed in any way with the advertising they were able to sell. There's still enough people watching primetime coverage. And if they would fix the access to stuff through Peacock for free, they've done a really good job over the last few Olympics of improving the NBC Sports app, but you have to have a cable subscription to make the best use of it, because then you're right, you can just pop in. They need to do a little better job of letting you pop in without having to see an ad every time, kind of recognizing that you're gonna bop around. Peacock was a disaster though. Like it was just unclear how you would get to anything. If they figure that out by the Winter Olympics, that could certainly help. But yeah,
it seems like they had figured it out before. I mean, the last couple Olympics before that were pretty good on the app experiences were pretty good. I mean, they were Comcast Sportsnet, I think. And they were good. They were solid.
The NBC Sports app is good. They just didn't figure out how to integrate it properly into Peacock, and it was the first time they've had Peacock. So yeah, hopefully they've figured some things out from that.
Yeah, I mean, I really hope it does well. I mean, I'm a huge Olympic fan. It's a wonderful event, and I really want to see it continue to get the kind of for the people who are involved in it what it's worth.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous to me that NBC got the Super Bowl the same year the Winter Olympics would be happening in the middle of it. So it is a bonanza for them, no matter how you look at it.
Well, also, not to interrupt, but one thing is this is also why they don't have the NHL too. This is another thing that they would have had to have in the same year. And I heard that clearly that when the ESPN and ABC took the NHL from NBC, that was the Olympics and Super Bowl were a big part of that.
I was worried about that. Well, I'm really glad they lost it, to be honest. So I'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah.
You got it.
It has improved my hockey watching experience. Real quickly, the Patty Jenkins directed Rogue Squadron Star Wars movie was set to begin pre-production by the end of this year, and production itself in 2022 with a release date of December 22nd, 2023. But Patty Jenkins too busy. Schedule's too full. So Rogue Squadron has been taken off the production schedule. They haven't removed it from the release date yet, but my guess is they just haven't got around to that. Are we ever getting another Star Wars film, and do we care?
Couple of different factors going into this. Rogue Squadron is a pretty beloved AAA sub-movie title. The video games, the books, all of that stuff. Patty Jenkins, a very talented director, possibly not a match. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some kind of behind-the-scenes jockeying, but one thing I know for sure is that anything on the small screen that is Star Wars related seems to be doing pretty well. Anything on the big screen seems to be beleaguered and having a tough time. So I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if there's some hesitancy about either the pairing of Patty Jenkins with this project or her comfort with what directions to go, because I suspect that behind the scenes, Disney's doing a lot of figuring like, what's working, what's not working.
All right, we got a few more notes here. Transformers prequel Rise of the Beasts has been delayed a year from June 2022 to June 9th, 2023. And an untitled Star Trek movie that was supposed to have that slot in June 2023 has been moved to December 22nd, 2023. We still don't know what Star Trek that would be. And just like that, a Sex and the City sequel series got a trailer. It's coming to HBO Max December 9th. La Brea from NBC got renewed for season 2. I haven't even started watching this, but all my friends who watch it say it's the dumbest, most fun thing they watch on television. And the Halo TV series on Paramount Plus released a teaser that'll be coming out sometime next year.
Yeah, I guess the lowest stakes thing is the one I'm most excited about, the La Brea. Like the idea of having a show that it's okay for me to like or not like or fall asleep during, that sounds rad.
Yeah. And you're going to get at least 2 seasons? Yeah?
Yep.
Here you go. Why not?
All right, let's talk about what we've had our eyes on. Let's start with you, Ek. What have you been watching lately?
Well, I have been watching season 2 of the Animaniacs on Hulu, and I'm a big Animaniacs fan. It's something I do with my son on Sunday mornings. It's literally like Sunday morning cartoons. It's just fun. Cool. And we do it, and it's hilarious. I mean, it's just absolutely brilliant. It's well done. And there was a cord killing moment in the last episode too that I watched, which was really funny when I was thinking of you guys, because they break the fourth wall quite a bit, and one of the characters says, "Well, if you had Hulu, you wouldn't have to worry about that." And they said, "I'll get you a free subscription with ads." It was awesome. It was a 7-day free prescription with ads. It's just really fun. They were good, really solid. So I've been watching that. And I've also been watching a show that came out by Rob Lowe called The Grinder. It was. Do you remember this show at all? It was on.
Yeah.
Yes, The Grinder.
Yeah. This the one where he's pretending to be a lawyer or something?
Yes, it is phenomenal. It's like, it is just, I don't know how this show, and I found out about it because I was listening to Rob Lowe's podcast, actually, where he was talking about it. And he said this makes him never want to do, he doesn't understand why it says picked up and never want to do comedy again. He said, this is like the greatest thing ever. He thought, it is absolutely one of the funniest shows I've ever seen. It's like right up, if you're in the Parks and Rec, like if you like Parks and Rec, that kind of stuff, it's sometimes even sharper than that. It's just really, really, really funny. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about it.
Right
and
on.
yeah, and then another movie called Starstruck, which is it's a series. It's in it, and I'm trying to remember what it's on. I'm sorry if I can't find it, but it's actually this woman who it's a woman from New Zealand, and she's a comedian, and she did it. It's like an 8-episode series. I apologize, I'm blanking on her name, but it was really, really, really strong too. If you just look up Starstruck, and you'll find it. It's really solid, and it's only got 1 season, and I think it's on Hulu. I'm pretty sure it's on Hulu. But it was really solid, just well written stuff, really good stuff.
It's new, like it just came out.
Yeah, it's new. It's the 2021.
Apparently it's on HBO Max.
Oh, that's what it is. There you go. Thank you. Yes, it's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. It's smart. It's really funny. And it's a great couples thing to watch. It's a great husband and wife if you want to jam on like something for like 8 episodes. Great. It's like watching a movie. It's like watching a long movie because it's only like 6 episodes or something like that, but it's really good.
Very cool. Very cool. Brian, what about you?
Dude, you know me. I'm always on the cutting edge. Whatever is new and fresh, that's what I'm watching. That's why I finally started HBO's Succession. It's so far not very good, but I'm only 4 episodes in, and the whole world has been telling me I have to watch it because it eventually gets good. I'll report.
I have very explicitly tried not suggesting Succession to you because there are no good people on it, and I know you don't like watching things where there's not a good person on it. So Put me in the list of you're never going to like this show. For that
once in a while,
explicit reason, you will never like this.
I was going to say, Brian, every once in a while, you will be lured into thinking someone is becoming a good character. And then you will be sorely disappointed.
Okay.
Like they do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is I'm going it alone. Nobody in my family is involved. It's the last thing I watch at night.
Quick one for me, and then a longer one. The quick one is Red Notice. I was the lone voice excited for Red Notice because I knew exactly what I would and would not get, and Red Notice met my expectations. Great acting, stupid, dumb, fun banter between The Rock and Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds. And every time they talked, I stopped looking at my phone and listened and laughed. And every time there was a good action scene, I watched it and was like, that was a good action scene. And the rest of the time I didn't pay attention to it. And I was perfectly satisfied. So that's my review of Red Notice, available on Netflix. But also I wanted to rave about ESPN Plus. I think ESPN Plus has come into its own, partly because of what I mentioned earlier. Hockey is now on ESPN, but also all of the NHL's app, like the NHL Center Ice, all the stuff you would pay to get all of the out-of-market games included on ESPN Plus. Also on ESPN Plus, all of the Canadian Football League games. I have watched more Canadian football. I've watched all my BC Lions games this year. I have been able to watch every St. Louis Blues game on ESPN, on ESPN Plus, on the ESPN Plus app. All in one. It's all in one interface. And they have Major League Soccer. They have a bunch of other sports. Eka, I know this is a big part of what you're covering with hockey in particular. But ESPN, yes, it doesn't have all the main games that are on ESPN. You have to have your cable login or some streaming subscription. I have DirecTV Stream for that. But it has so much else on there with no additional cost. I don't have to sign up and pay $140. I'm getting all the Blues games.
It's really simple. I know it's really well done, and some of the announcers they're using too are just usually it's the hometown announcers. They're just getting the feeds from the arenas, but I've been impressed. I'm such a big John Buccigross fan. Like he is such a great guy and he's such a American treasure as far as hockey goes. He just loves the sport inside and out, and he hasn't had it forever because he's been at ESPN his whole career. So he's so happy to have it back. He's just like loving every second of it. It's fun. That's very infectious. The way that the whole setup is just so clean, and the streaming is really solid. I mean, it really just feels like every show is the whole thing before of. Should I watch it on the Center Ice package on my cable because that'll be clearer? Can I just stream it through Hulu on my thing? Because that'll be, it really doesn't matter anymore. It's just as clear as watching it through cable. Yeah, they're doing a great job. I couldn't agree with you more. And the fans are loving it. And it's nice from a hockey perspective when they go to ESPN Sports Center, which is on like every bar in the world has ESPN Sports Center on, that they'll talk about hockey for a second, which they haven't done for years, So it's nice to get like, hey, we're having a play of the night's a hockey play. That's something new. I mean, that's, it's not someone's, move in poker. It's a hockey play. So it's really fun. It's really, I'm enjoying it. I was worried about it, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I agree with you.
Yeah. I now see the future of ESPN, which is they will slowly move more and more things to ESPN Plus. Right now, ESPN Plus is worth it for sports fans, even though you don't get the main ESPN games. It is now finally worth it because you have so many leagues included. They're going to try to keep including more leagues. They lost Super League Rugby. My guess is they'll try to get that stuff back. And ESPN will just slowly become ESPN Plus. That'll be the ESPN of the future. I can totally see it now.
Oh, it will be. And you're right about like Canadian football. For those who don't watch it, it's a blast. It's a fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
A fun sport.
Yeah. My team sucks, and I had a blast watching it because it's just so fun to watch.
I mean, they have a 25-yard end zone. It's like it's insane. Like it's insane.
The Rouge, you can score 1 point. There's only 3 downs. It moves fast.
I know, and it's all these like guys, who like couldn't make it in the NFL, but are there just living
Lucky
their good
Whitehead.
life and like. That's right.
All right.
Oh, and there's 2 teams named the same thing. 2 of the 6 teams are called the same thing.
They did change that. They're no longer named the same thing anymore. I was sad to see that go actually when they renamed.
That was something.
Yeah. All right. I am going to admit now, because I can, that I watched all of Cowboy Bebop on preview, and I will give you my impressions in After Talk. So, Bryce, what should we be on the lookout for?
Hey, Rob's got a new family pick for us today. Rob writes, my 10-year-old daughter got me hooked on Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. It is a dystopian science fiction, long arc, non-linear storytelling adventure. The way I describe it is a mashup of Thundar the Barbarian with My Little Pony with the storytelling structure of Breaking Bad. Imagine Rick and Morty if Rick's main character flaw was that he hugged people too much. Really great show. The music is great too. Check it out. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. This looks neat. Yeah, this reminds me a lot of like Adventure Time as well, of humans and non-humans living in a definitely just post apocalyptic Earth. It looks pretty cool. And guess what? If you like it, it's done. The third and final season of Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts went up on Netflix last year. So if you or the family are looking for something, maybe check that out. So, Kipo, K-I-P-O.
This is all ages?
It seems to be. Yep. This is from DreamWorks TV. So I'd be very surprised. So yeah, check that out. Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts, K-I-P-O. It's on Netflix. If you got something we should be on the lookout for, email it to us, cordkillers@gmail.com. Thank you.
Tom, look, this is the part where I tell everyone that Doghouse Systems has us where we're in Hawk and everybody needs to buy a new system and they have to go to doghousesystems.com/rogue, R-O-G-U-E, spell it right. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because
don't do that.
It's the holiday season, Tom. It's the holiday season and the world is filled with lies. Remember last year when a company that rhymes with Schmamazon would lie to your face saying, oh, it'll be there in 2 days. And it took...
Can't spell holidays without lie.
Showed up the next year. I just got by Apple. I thought I could trust Apple. They said it would be there on Monday, and then they said, psych, it'll be there in a month. They're all lying to you, Tom. They are.
Well, but what can we do about it, Brian?
You trust me. And there's only one way you could trust me, and that's to go to gimme.scamstuff.com. Sign up for the email list. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm only going to send out email for stuff I physically am touching at the time. I'm going to say, I have this many decks. Who wants one? And then I will send it immediately, and there will be no lies, no Pepe Silvias, no trickaroos. I swear. Gimme.scamstuff.com. Yes, you'll sign up for a giveaway, but more importantly, you'll be on the email list so I can tell you the truth. It's the only way to know whether or not you're going to get the thing.
Look at his nose, folks. It's exactly the same size as it was when he started telling you about that.
Okay, that's really weird. I thought I had gotten so excited it had become flushed or something.
No, it was a Pinocchio. We had a Pinocchio.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm
time
with you.
for the
I'm with
front
you.
lines. Yeah, let's do that.
Front lines.
The latest version of the Google Home app on Android has added the ability to use it as a remote for Google TV. Previously, that was only available in the Google TV app. Now you can use the Google Home app as well. And the iOS version of the Google Home app also slated to get that feature, though they didn't tell us when.
Bloomberg has an article from Lucas Shaw describing how streaming services are beginning to turn their significant budgets towards snapping up cheap, unscripted series because they'll get more for the dollar, which makes sense. According to Shaw, an entire season of reality show like F-Boy Island on HBO Max costs the same as a single episode or two of a top-tier drama. Netflix has become the biggest buyer, with 3 of its last top 10 most popular series being unscripted, including Tiger King, The Last Dance, and Too Hot to Handle.
Okay, F-Boy Island has the most incredible ending of any reality series ever.
They all go celibate.
It's absolutely nuts, and we watch all those.
Absolutely no nuts. That's the twist.
That's Fun Boy Island on HBO Max. Netflix now supports the AV1 codec on the PS4 Pro, Fire OS 7, Android TV devices, any Android device running Android 10 or newer, and select 2020 Samsung smart TVs. AV1 was originally added to Netflix's Android app in February 2020, uses more CPU-intensive compression to deliver higher quality video, but using the same bitrate as other formats. Netflix said it's exploring streaming HDR content with AV1 as well. This is good for you if you need to not use up your bandwidth cap.
And AMC posted on Twitter that you can use cryptocurrency. You ever heard of it? To buy movie tickets? This appears to be through PayPal. That includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. AMC just started using PayPal, and also, by the way, this boils down to we bought a plugin. It started using PayPal and also added support for Apple Pay and Google Pay. The new payment options make up 14% of AMC's online transactions.
Yeah, GM meme stocks. Here's your Bitcoin. Nielsen released its streaming charts, and don't forget, they're always a month after the week in which the data is collected. So put yourself back in the mindset of October 11th for this list. Squid Game fell below 3 billion minutes to 2.25 billion minutes, but still held on to the number one slot that week. Netflix's You was second with 1.94 billion, followed by Made. And basically Netflix had all top 10 slots that week. Good for you, Netflix. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the dispatches from the front.
You hear that, Yankees? No claps for you.
But what about the Red Sox? Norm wrote in and said, hey, Brian and team. Wow, I had great memories of Time Bandits. And when I heard Brian bring it up at the beginning of October, I was very excited. And then you decided to watch it for Spoilerin time. So I dug through my boxed up DVDs, no HBO Max for me, to watch it and convinced my wife. I even got my wife to watch it Friday night. From the beginning, my wife gave me some sidelong glances of, what the hell is this? It picked up after their capture by evil, but still, it wasn't quite as good as I remember. The bigger story is these DVDs. Man, what a drag. Convenience really does trump fidelity. I hope I don't need this player again anytime soon. Take care, Norm. P.S. The Paris blowing up was pretty awesome.
Listen to last week's episode for our review of Time Bandits and just how well it survived. I guess it's just my nostalgia for it. I apologize.
You don't have to apologize. You can like a bad movie.
It was a fun watch for sure.
That was a joke. You can laugh at that.
Yes. You know what? Let's actually skip this second email and thank Eklund for joining us. Thank you so much, Ek, for hanging out with us.
Oh, it's such a pleasure, guys. I'm such big fans, and you guys are such inspirations to me. So thank you guys so much for having me on.
Stop. If folks want to find out more what you got going on, where should they go?
Yeah, go to hockeybuzz.com. That's where you can follow for all your hockey rumors and stuff like that. And then also a little plug for my son's YouTube channel about endangered species animals, where he makes all the puppets and does it called Land of Puppetaria, which is really like just he's been through so much health-wise over the years, and I'm so proud of him. I just can't even begin to tell you. It's the most incredible thing. He's starting to get recognition from all over the place too. He's starting to get like 10,000 views per show. He's really it's just killing me. This is Stephen Cold Bear that you see there. So he made a polar bear in the like to look like Stephen Colbert, and that's John Baptiste. Yeah, so there you have it. So it's hilarious, it's fun, and it's really silly. So if you get a chance, definitely check it out. I would really appreciate it.
That is awesome.
Land of Puppetaria. The Land of Puppetaria is the YouTube channel. Our website is cordkillers.com. Our email address is cordkillers@gmail.com. And we're live on twitch.tv/nightattack. Also carried on diamondclub.tv. Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you next time.
Hey, Tom Merritt, what's going on?
I'm just hanging out here watching this scroll go by. What are you doing?
Trying to set up a bit where we thank our beautiful, beautiful patrons, all these wonderful names.
I'm sorry, I'm too distracted looking at these beautiful, beautiful patron names going by. Look at that one. I mean, if you wanted to be one of these people, patreon.com/cordkillers would be the place to go.
I mean, they're scratching our itch, like, because we're addicted.
As long as it's consensual, like,
we're addicted to their money.
And love. Might as well face it.
Well, God damn it.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.